In May of 2013, a massive tornado outbreak struck Oklahoma. Lives were lost, homes were destroyed, and cities were demolished. The Red Cross was quick to respond with food, shelter, and someone to lean on.
Hi, I'm Christian James, disc golfer with a purpose, and today's round at the world-famous Ewing Park Disc Golf Course is dedicated to the Oklahoma Red Cross. If my play inspires you, please feel free to make a donation based off of the round's results. 25 cents for each par, 50 cents for any birdie, and $1 for an eagle or an ace. Thanks for watching.
Set to tee off on the 320-foot par 3 first, throwing in a Nova Star Eagle, lacing the disc straight down the fairway. Unfortunately, the disc catches a branch falling beneath the canopy of trees, throwing a forehand shot out to the basket and ending up inside of the circle. Looking at about a 20-foot, 25-cent putt, and it's in the chains, 25 cents to the Oklahoma Red Cross. Standing on the tee pad of the 285-foot par 3 second, throwing in a Nova Star Leopard, the disc is released a little too high. Fortunately, it does hold the line. The disc fades off to the left side of the fairway, leaving for a tricky shot into the green. Throwing a Discraft Z Avenger, the disc fades, makes the gap, and is parked next to the basket, leaving for a simple par putt, adding 25 more cents to the cause. That brings us to 50 cents on the round. That takes us to the 250-foot par 3 third, throwing in a Nova Star Leopard that is released a little bit wide. It just nicks a tree, which knocks it offline, takes away some distance, and leaves for a long birdie try. The putt is up, and it catches a branch of a tree. It's thrown too high, and now the par save from outside of 20 feet. And the disc is off the basket. That's bust number 1 on the round, still sitting at 50 cents for the day. Ready to tee off on the 350-foot par 3 fourth, throwing in a Nova Star Eagle that is shot straight up the fairway. It fades to the left and is left in a perfect position for an upshot with the Nova Star TL. The disc hyzers right in front of the basket, leaving for a short, simple par putt. This is for 25 cents and 75 cents on the round. Chains, 75 cents for the Oklahoma Red Cross. Set to tee off on the difficult 580-foot par 4 fifth, throwing the Discraft Z Avenger that fails to hook up and catches a tree. This leaves for a difficult par save. Throwing in a Nova Champion Wraith on the second shot, the disc is turned over a little bit. Fortunately, it flexes out and fades back to the fairway. This leaves for an opening. This is a long third shot up to the green, throwing in a Nova Star SL. The hyzer shot into the green leaves the disc about 25 feet from the chains. The par saving attempt, and it's in the basket. That's another 25 cents to the cause, $1 on the round. That takes us to the 400-foot par 3 sixth, throwing in a Nova Champion Wraith that is turned over. It kicks off a tree, leaving for a difficult second shot. The big hyzer with a Nova Champion Wraith fades and catches one of the guardian trees, leaving for a 100-plus foot jump putt. The putt is up, it turns, it fails to fade back, and that is bust number 2 on the round. Still sitting at $1 for the day. The par 4 seventh is a 500-foot shot, teeing off with a Discmania S-Line PD that makes its way down the fairway and sitting in a perfect position for an aggressive attempt at the green, throwing a Champion Wraith from a Nova that is turned over. Left-hand power throws are problematic today. Shot 3 into the green with an Nova Star Eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagle has landed. That disc is parked. We are looking at a par save and 25 more cents to the cause. There you have it. It's in the chains. 25 cents to the cause, $1.25 on the round. Teeing off on the 398-foot par 3/8 with an Innova Champion Wraith. This time the left-hand power shot is on line, sitting in a perfect position for a short forehand approach into the green with another Champion Wraith, and that disc is parked. Looking at a great opportunity for 25 cents to the cause to bring today's total to $1.50 on the round. Set to tee off on the 250-foot par 3 9th with an Innova Star TL. The disc is on a great line. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite fade enough. Still looking at a long jump putt for 50 cents. The birdie attempt falls short with a little bit of a tailwind. A simple par putt for 25 more cents to the cause, $1.75 on the round. The 600-foot par 4 10th is Ewing Park's signature hole, throwing an Innova Champion Wraith. The disc gets a big turn, flexes out, and fades back to the center of the fairway. That leaves for a great look on the second shot, throwing a Discmania C-Line PD. The disc is placed on a great line. It hits the gap and flies right in front of the basket. This leaves for a great look at birdie, and it's off to the left side of the chains. The comeback par putt for 25 cents is in the basket. That brings today's total to $2 on the round. The 11th is a par 3 370-foot hole, throwing an Innova Champion Wraith that gets a big turn and does not have enough time to flex out. How deep in the woods could that be? Fortunately, it's only a couple of feet. Looking at a forehand flex with a C-Line PD from Discmania, the disc sitting out about 15 to 20 feet from the chains. The 25-cent putt is in the basket, $2.25 on the round. Throwing an Innova Champion Wraith on the 370-foot par 3 12th. On or over the road is out of bounds. The disc hyzers back to inbounds on the fairway, leaving for a nice short approach into the green, and the disc is parked. A short 25-cent par putt to bring today's total to $2.50 on the round. 13 is a 600-foot par 4, throwing a Discraft Z-Line Avenger, which makes its way around the bend and is sitting center cut on the fairway. Throwing an Innova Champion Wraith on the second shot, a big flex shot to get a little extra distance. Now looking at a short shot into the green. This is a tough approach though. There's two gaps to hit. The right gap is taken, and the disc skips right behind the basket. A tricky putt from the weeds to save par. And that's 25 cents tacked onto the cause, bringing us to $2.75 on the round. The par 3 300-foot 14th plays a lot longer than it really is, throwing an Innova Champion Wraith up over the trees. The disc settles in a great position for an upshot into the green, throwing another Champion Wraith from Innova. The disc fades back to the basket, and it's sitting in a great position about 7 feet from the basket, and it's in the chains. 25 cents added to the cause, $3 on the round. Throwing an Innova Champion Wraith on the par 3 15th. This is a 463-foot shot. The disc fades back and ends up in the center of the fairway, leaving for a great look at the pin. The second shot with the Innova Champion Wraith fades and ends up well within the circle. This is a 25-cent par putt, and it's in the basket. That's another 25 cents tacked onto the cause, $3.25 on the round. Teeing off on the 274-foot par 3 16th with an Innova Star Leopard, the disc hits a great line and fades right in front of the basket. Unfortunately, it skips on the fast green. The birdie attempt is off the basket. That was right on line, just a hair high on the chains. It gets kicked out. The tap-in par putt for 25 cents brings us to the tee-off on the 601-foot par 4 17th with an Innova Champion Wraith. The second shot out of the tall grass with the Innova Star Archon sitting in a great position for a third shot. This big hyzer shot is being thrown with an Innova KC Pro. This is an 11-time KC Pro T-Bird, leaving for a par putt, 25 cents tacked onto the cause, $3.75 on the round. Set to tee off on the beautiful 700-foot par 4 18th, throwing a Discmania C-Line PD that's released a little wide but fades back to the center of the fairway. Setting up for the second shot with an Innova Champion Wraith. The disc is released a little high but makes its way through the trees, ending up in the fairway with a look at the pin. The third shot is being thrown with an Innova Star Leopard, staying nice and low and gliding its way up to the basket, settling at about 4 feet from the pin. This is the final shot on the round for 25 cents and a total for the cause of $4.
I'm Christian James, disc golfer with a purpose. Thanks for watching.
Here are the round's final results. 16 pars at 25 cents each. That brings today's total individual pledge amount to $4. To make your $4 donation to the American Red Cross, please call 1-800-RED Cross. That's 1-800-RED-CROSS under the category Disaster Relief. Thanks for watching. A special thanks goes out to American Packaging Corporation, ProFlight Discs, and Unity Point Health Des Moines.